Hi guys, this is Anindita from YourFirstNature. In today's Counting My Blessings episode, I thought that I will do a houseplant tour. These are the plants that have stayed with me for a long time. I had many of these plants I had even when I was in Mumbai. They are truly my blessings. They are the reason why I could finally figure out how I could live a life closer to nature, and I could finally take the move of moving to a remote place. By houseplants, I mean plants that can be kept in small apartments or balconies or any place with limited care or even limited lighting situations. So I'm going to show you only a few of those because I have many houseplants, and showing all the houseplants in one video will be too long. So I decided to show you only this one shelf that I have behind me. Before I get started, please do not forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the notification button. We really appreciate you coming back and all your feedback. So in order to accommodate as many plants as I can in a small space, I had to buy these kind of very sturdy shelves which can hold, I think, about more than 50 plants at a time. I need very sturdy shelves because the wind here is very strong. So I need something that will not be knocked over. Also, I don't hang anything from the walls because first is this is a rented house, and second is that I don't want to block the view of the outside trees because there are many birds and squirrels that come to these trees, and this is really a treat to the eyes to watch them in the morning. So this is the east side of my house, and this is the north side, but this gets full sun. So this shelf over here, this gets east side exposure and also reflected light from this side. So basically a very good amount of light throughout the day. So all these plants are really happy, and many of them got damaged during my shifting, but they are kind of coming back right now. I will start with the first plant that I have here. This is a Monstera Adansonii. I got this one long back when I was in Mumbai, and I don't even remember how many times I have taken a cutting from this and given to a friend or somebody. But it lost a lot of its foliage during my shifting, but now it has started growing a lot. From all the nodes it's growing. I tried to put it on a moss pole, but I don't think I did a very good job of it because it's not really sticking its aerial roots to it as much as I would have liked. This is my Antherium Clarinarium. So this is one of my most favorite plants because this is probably one of the easiest plants. I heard that it's very fussy and it needs a lot of special care, but I literally don't do anything more than just water it every few days. I put this moss pole here because all the foliage was falling to one side or the other, and there was a chance that I could break some of the leaves. So I tied everything to a moss pole. Although it doesn't really have any aerial roots, I don't think the moss pole is really doing a lot. But see, it's continuously growing. Even after shifting, it did not take a lot of time to come back. There's a flower spike over here. There's a flower spike going inside the moss pole, and there are new leaves coming from the bottom. This is my Philodendron Gold Eye, or by the recent classification, this is Thaumatophyllum spruceanum. This one is one of my favorite plants. Just look at the shape of the foliage. It's as crazy as it can get. It just doesn't follow any rules. It just goes anywhere it wants. But it doesn't really grow that fast. I would love to get very beautiful, weird shaped leaves every week or so, but it doesn't really do that. But it is happy otherwise. This is my Dracaena Marginata. So this one was a full Dracaena plant with foliages right from here when I was in Mumbai, but during my shifting it lost all its foliage. The only thing I did was I was sad and I cut the tip off, and I think this plant took it as a signal to grow more. So what it has done is from the tip it has started growing a lot of different shoots. So now I have different Dracaena plants, 4 different Dracaena plants from one particular node, and they are looking pretty good right now. Initially I did not take off all these foliage, the older foliage, because It needed something to do the photosynthesis for it. But right now, I think it's time that I take them off. I have a Ficus Elasticabediana here, rubber plant Shiveriana. Not growing a lot, but it is still growing. See the beautiful foliage. It's not really that clean, but it still looks pretty to me. This is another weirdo plant that I have. It started with a very small cutting, just about 6 inches or so, and that was, I think, about a year back. But after that, it has grown so fast that I have taken multiple cuttings just to keep it within control, but still it doesn't look like wants to be in control. I installed this moss pole, again not a very good job, just to control the growth of the foliage, but it's again falling over and going in all possible directions. Just look at the velvety foliage. It's beautiful, and the dark green color along with the silver stripe in the middle, I just love it. This one is also extremely easy to grow because all you need to do is make sure that you water it every few days so that the soil doesn't get bone dry. That's all I need to do for this plant. This is my Bachua Aquatica, or Chinese money plant. This one had a completely different shape when I was in Mumbai. When I bought it, it had a very different look. It had 4 or 5 trunks and only foliage at the top. But now I think that after losing all the foliage during my shifting, this has regenerated in a completely different way, and this is looking fuller, but not from all the sides, only the side where it gets more light, and the other side is looking a little bare. But again, just have to make sure that the soil doesn't completely dry out, otherwise I just fertilize it once a month. I don't do anything else for this plant either. This is an Allocation silver dragon. This got so damaged during my shifting that it lost all its foliage. Since I know that Allocations grow from bulbs, I did not throw it out, and look here, now there are 3 different shoots coming out of the soil because the bulb inside underneath that was still healthy, and that is throwing new growth again. This one likes bright light and it doesn't like to get completely dry, and I think the only mistake that I made was I let it go completely dry because I'm really lazy gardener, and I have a habit of leaving my plants too long until they get to a critical dryness state. So all the regeneration stories that I'm talking about, I have done a detailed video on the stories of regeneration. If you haven't watched it yet, please do check it out. This is my pink Syngonium. I don't really know the exact name of this particular cultivar, but the foliages, when I was in Mumbai, the foliages would not properly unfurl. They used to stay in this kind of a shape and never really get to a full beautiful foliage state. But here I'm seeing that I think the brighter light situation is really helping because all the foliage is unfurling properly, and again this plant also doesn't want to get completely dry, but otherwise this is growing just fine and pretty healthy. This is my Cordyline fructicosa. Last year, just after lockdown, I wanted to grow this plant, but I could not go to any plant shop or any nurseries. So one of my plant friends, she had a few cuttings or maybe few saplings. She offered to give me one very small plant. And look how much it has grown over a period of less than 1 year. This is a beautiful plant and beautiful foliage with pink and maroonish border, but it does like a lot of bright light, otherwise the foliage will turn into completely green. It was in much lesser light earlier, so the older foliage is actually much greener than the new foliage. Again, another plant which does not like to get to that critical dryness. I have one poinsettia at the back, but it's not looking great because last time I watered my plants today, but I think this time I went a little too far and this one looks really sad, so I'm not taking that out. This is a Syngonium, I think plum illusion. It has a green and pink color foliage, which is different for every leaf. It's a relatively newer plant. I bought this after I came here, but this is now doing fine. Just a few dry edges here and there. Otherwise, just like any other Syngoniums, it doesn't like to get completely dry, but otherwise it's doing just fine. This is my super weirdo messy fishbone cactus. This one just grows in any direction it wants. It does not want to be attached to anything, but there are so many real roots. I'm pretty sure if I could attach some kind of moss pole, or if I could train it along a wall, it would grow fine. But otherwise, right now it's just growing from all the sides, but not in a particular manner. It's just growing randomly, and I love that. This one, on the other hand, likes to be halfway dry because this is a jungle cactus. The foliage is really thick, so if I water it too much, then this will die. So that's the reason why I have this plant towards the outside of this shelf, so that it gets a lot more of the reflected sun during the daytime. This is my Philodendron hestatum. This was a long plant, very healthy, very beautiful. It was starting to create that elongated heart-shaped leaves, but during my shifting, it was totally beheaded. The top part, I don't even know where it went, but I could not throw it away, so I kept it, and it started growing from the other nodes, and now it's kind of like starting from scratch again, but still I love this, and since it was one of my most favorite plants, I'm happy that it came back. Look at the foliage here. It has a bluish silver hue. This is my Repsalis. I don't remember the full name, so I will put it somewhere on the screen. Does it look like a full hair, unruly full hair to you? It always looks like that to me, and with all the bright light, it is actually growing from every side. Again, this is also a jungle cactus. It doesn't like to be too wet, but at the same time, it does not like to be bone dry like any other cactus. This is a Philodendron rojo Congo. This was growing in perfect floret shape and nice and beautifully with very big leaves. It was starting to grow very big leaves, but during the shifting, all my leaves got damaged. So now it's somehow growing only in one direction. I think the light from one direction is just too strong and the other direction is not. See this? This is their battle scar. This is one of the leaves which got damaged, but I had to leave them on because otherwise there was nothing to do the photosynthesis. But good news is that it has a lot of new foliage now, and the size of the leaves are also increasing day by day. This is one plant that fascinates me. I think there are two different types of Scindapsus over here, and I don't know which one is what. Maybe one is exotica and one, I really don't know. But I had two small plants. One was almost dying, not really growing. I chopped them up, put it in one pot, mixed it with another one which is similar looking but was much smaller, and now it has starting to trail down with very huge leaves because it is getting a lot of light right now. So it's loving this spot. Just look at the spots on the leaves. Beautiful. And there are two different types. This is my Rhaphidophora tetrasperma. I had a beautiful long plant which was growing really beautiful big leaves in Mumbai, but I lost it because the stem was cut in multiple pieces when it arrived, and I just could not save it even after trying a lot. So recently I ordered one and I got two small plants which I put in one pot. They are still not looking that healthy and beautiful, but they will. They are pretty resilient plants, so I'm pretty sure that it will start growing very soon. So this is one Begonia Morris Amy. This one also was a cutting just after lockdown. I think towards the end of last year, I got a cutting from one of my friends, and I had no hope that it will survive. It was actually losing all its leaves, but now the foliage is so beautiful. It was actually growing in a bare stem kind of way, so it had a very long stem and the foliage was only at the top. So what I did was I cut the top and gave that cutting to Maheshwari, and it has responded really well because now all the leaves are growing from all the nodes at the bottom. This is Aglionium red emerald, I think, I don't remember exact name, but this foliage is actually much brighter than the Anjamani. So that's why I think this is a different one. This also got damaged, but kind of coming back, and the foliage is really bright and beautiful. Another super easy plant, always beautiful, Philodendron Brazil. It was in a low light area in Mumbai, so it lost all its variegation. In fact, it was inside my house under a grow light which was not that strong. So it lost all of its variegation. But after coming here and after getting so much light, it has got its variegation back. But I think the size of the leaves to get a little bigger, it will take a little longer than that. And this pot is a self-watering pot which I used a lot in Mumbai, but here I don't think they are needed anymore. I have taken all my other plants out of the self-watering planters, but this one is still there. This is my Dracaena Milky Way, another very easy plant. I really don't do anything more than just water it once in a while, once in 5 to 6 days, and it's growing pretty well. And the foliage has light yellow speckles on them, so I think that's the reason why it's called Milky Way. It has two different varieties, one with yellow speckles and the other one is with white one. I don't have the white variety, I just have this one. This is my Peperomia Scandance. This one, I got a full pot anyways, but still, this is such a easy growing and fast growing plant. I have given cutting to many friends, and now after giving cutting, it's actually growing a lot faster. The foliage is very interesting and beautiful. It has a darker borders and very light middle. This is a Tradiscantia platyphylla. This has a rounder leaves, and it's also called ant plant. Very interesting story, which I will probably post some. I have posted on Instagram in the past. This is also very easy plant, but it's an epiphyte. So overwatering is a sure shot way to kill this one. Here I have one Tradiscantia zebrina, which I bought after coming here, and it's not doing really great because I think I water it less than what it would like me to. But I think this is such an easy plant that it will get better. This is a Philodendron Birkin. Once upon a time, it actually had a lot of variegations, wide variegations. But now, due to low light, it has lost all its variegation. Now, I think it's coming back a little bit, but still not that great. So today only I have moved it to an even brighter location. I'm hoping that the next leaves will have the beautiful white stripes. So here I have a few plants which are very small. One is this Philodendron Cataphyllum. This was damaged so much in during my shifting that I'm not so sure if it will be better. But it still has one growth node, which I'm really hopeful about that. This is my Philodendron Florida Ghost. This one is supposed to give me white new leaves, which it's still not doing. But at least it's alive. When it arrived here, I did not have much hope, but at least it's alive. This is a Philodendron Maui. This one also has a very weird shaped leaves, and it got damaged during my shifting, so it's still kind of coming back from that. But I think it's getting better because there are new growth coming out. So here I have a Peperomia Scandance. In this pot, I put the green color and the variegated one together just to reduce the number of plants when I was a few months before I was moving. The white one did not, the variegated one did not do well. It actually died. Still had a few stems here and there, but now I think everything has died off. But the green one is really taking off. It's growing a lot. It's loving its new place with a lot of light, and look at the new leaves, so shiny and beautiful. This is another Repsalis that I have. This is probably called Repsalis baxifera. It's not growing very fast. Actually, it was in a low light spot for a long time in Mumbai, so I think it's still recovering from that. This is an Aglionium cutlass. I was drawn to this foliage the first time I saw it, and I think when it gets really big, the foliage gets very thick and big and beautiful, but now it's not that big, but still the foliage is beautiful. This is the darker green border and silvery middle part. Here I have two plants, two Aglioniums that I planted together just to reduce the number of plants during my shifting, and the pink one and the white one, both are doing pretty well right now. There is something on the side of this plant which I have no idea what. I have a Stephania erecta over here which is doing so well that the biggest problem that I have with this plant is to control how it grows, and it's actually growing along this shelf, so it's impossible for me to take it out. I will put a photo of this on the screen. But yesterday I sprayed neem oil on all my plants, and this is the only plant that did not like it, so the foliage is not looking too happy right now. This is my Pothos enjoy. Mostly it is one of the most resilient plants I have seen, just like any other Pothos, right? But this one also got severely damaged during my shifting, so still you will see a lot of battle scars. But it's kind of coming back. 2 days back only I changed the pot and shifted it to a bigger pot, a better pot. So hopefully now this will do a lot better than before. This is my Oxalis Triangularis. This one lost all its foliage during my shifting, but since Oxalis grows from bulbs, I knew that this will come back, and just within a few days it came back. Now it has foliage. It's not really that full and beautiful, but it still has a lot of foliage. This is my Monstera Peru. Okay, I'm seeing it after a long time because it was just sitting in the shelf and I was not really doing anything with this. Now this looks like this is starting to trail. This one recovered from its shock pretty quickly, so you won't even see any battle scars on this plant, and it's starting to trail right now. Again, very easy to grow. Just have to dry it halfway through the soil before watering again, and very bright light. Here I have a turtle vine which is hanging from a macrame hanger. It's not possible to take it out without damaging some of its branches. So I'm going to put a photo on the screen. This is my beautiful cast iron plant which I thought I completely lost because it had only the roots, nothing else. And I still put it in this pot, and after a few weeks, almost a month, I saw new foliage coming back again. Just look at this foliage. It has white spots in the middle and otherwise dark foliage. Grows like a grass, and it's very, very hardy plant. So I have one bromeliad which is not doing really well, and one Tradiscantia silamontana. This one has recovered pretty well and now kind of growing from all the nodes, but this one is not really doing that well. This is an aluminium plant. It's a Pileia caddieri plant. The foliage is really beautiful and it likes a little bit more water than the other plants, but otherwise just in bright light and this will be fine. I don't really have to do anything special for this one. So this is my Allocation reginella black velvet. This one also lost many of its foliage. I think just one or two was still there when it reached here, but now it has started growing so many new leaves. See, again one more leaf is coming out, and this is also a new leaf, a beautiful dark green velvety leaf with a very striking silver vein in the middle. This is my Philodendron Gloriosum. For some time I actually thought that I'm going to lose it because the only leaf that was remaining was severely damaged, but thankfully it grew one new leaf and now it is also growing another new leaf. I can't wait for it to grow really big and beautiful, but look at the beautiful velvety foliage. This is a rabbit's foot fern. This is a relatively new plant. I received it just a few days back.
So it's not really doing that well right now, but it's growing from one of its foot. This is an Aglionium rotundum which got really badly damaged. There are growth nodes, but I'm not so sure if it will come back. But just look at the foliage. It's so beautiful with dark green there, pink stripes. So it's a beautiful plant, but I don't know if it will make it. This is a Tradiscantia pallida, the purple heart plant. This one is growing like crazy, and right now I have put it on a stick, but I don't think I can keep it in this shape for a long time, so it will start to trail down, but this is growing like crazy. So that's all for today. I didn't want this video to get too long. That's why I'm showing only one shelf for today. Hope you liked my houseplant tour. Please let me know how you like my plants, and also if you have some suggestions, something that I can do better, do let me know in the comment section down below. If you like this video, maybe I will do another houseplant tour some other week and show you all the other plant shelves that I have. I have one right here, another one over there, and I have many more flowering plants which are all around the house. If you like this video, please don't forget to subscribe to this channel and hit the notification button, and also please like, share and comment on our videos. It really helps us a lot. I will see you again next week with another Greening My Life episode. Until then, take care. Bye bye.